My name is Joe Steinbach, and I am principal from Steinbach Management Services. We're construction project managers. I have a team of 4 project managers that work with me, and we had been chosen to review the electrical systems at 7 of the government primary schools. And the reason for asking for the review was that the ministry was getting concerns and complaints about systems not working and functioning properly. We put together a team of consultants consisting of electrical engineers, and we split the schools in 2. We had 2 teams of electrical engineers. One team is from EMCE and the other team is from A2B Consultants. And what we found as a general rule was that the schools had what appeared to be continually being facilitated when some request was made. If a room was being converted into nutrition space and they needed plugs for fridges or this and the next, all of these things were put in. But what was never really done was for a complete check and overhaul of the system to support the end users. And what we found was that most of the circuits and systems were overloaded, and as a result, they were causing problems, and that was the type of problem that was generally being found in the schools. In addition to that, unique to a number of these schools was that the wiring was so old that when you actually held the wiring and you just use your fingers, you could take the insulation off of the wiring, and that was going to be a major fire hazard. So a decision was taken to upgrade the schools and to make them compliant with the electrical codes for Barbados at the time. It was also decided that we should upgrade the AV IT systems in the schools, and so that technology is becoming more and more used in the schools, even at primary school level. After lots of thought and planning, we had made the decision with the Ministry of Education that we would standardize the schools. So by that I mean we would make sure that they all had the same light fittings. The AV IT systems would use all the same equipment. And even though there were the schools had 7 different contractors, 7 different AV IT contractors, 7 different electrical contractors, because one of the ministry's requirements or the government's requirement was to try and spread the workload around, as they wanted as many people as possible to be employed. So we did that. And in addition to that, we had the government actually source all of the light fittings themselves. That way we could negotiate the best price, and we also ensured that all of them were standard in all the schools. So if they had to stock spares for the future, they didn't have to stock lots of different types of equipment. They had the same thing. And in the AV IT, we made provision and redundancy for future if the ministry decided they wanted a central monitoring station to monitor the security cameras that have now been put in at all the schools. So that's where we are, and so far it's been going pretty good. We got off to a little bit of a bumpy start with some of the schools still having students in when we were supposed to start, and we had to delay the start of the individual schools. But we've caught that up, and I have to say the contractors and the electrical contractors and everybody have really been responding well. And I'm sure that when the students come back, they're going to find a major change in the lighting levels in the room, the consistency of the lighting, etc. All of the lighting that has been put in have also been LED lights, so they're energy efficient. And the latest that we can do to make sure that it was done to modern technology, we have done.